Welcome to Escape from the Desert, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you being here. My name is Dwayne Farquhar, and I am the Creative Director for Intercourt Creative. Intercourt Creative is the art branch of our church, Christ Church International and Intercourt Ministries. And we are part of the Longmont Downtown Art District. So every month we have a new gallery, we have a new showing here. And we would love to have you down every second Friday of the month. The art district has something going on down here. Sometimes it's new openings, sometimes it's live music, sometimes it's all sorts of different things. We would love to have you down here every second Friday, and we very much appreciate you coming tonight. Tonight is very special because in addition to some of the art, we have a brand new music suite. This is the premiere of it tonight. It's never been done before. Written by Matthew Spencer. Matthew has, believe it or not, he is a young man, but he did have more hair when he began this. He has less now. He's been working crazily, and of course everybody in the band has been working on it to bring this to you tonight. So sit back, strap yourselves in, and prepare for an escape from the desert.
Oh. Hey everyone, my name is Matthew. Welcome to Escape from the Desert. I'm very excited to see many new faces here tonight. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a composer, musician, I guess you could call me entertainer. I don't really consider myself an entertainer, but I'm a pastor here too, and it's just really exciting to use the arts to begin to coordinate with Longmont and open these second Friday nights, and we just want to be a light here in the arts and do exciting things, music, art, film, all sorts of different things. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about Escape from the Desert. I started to get this idea maybe 10 years ago. It's been quite a while. I was actually in Germany. I was studying abroad, and I found some practice rooms, and I'm a musician, and I just was gravitated to these pianos. I just had to play. And if you touch, musician, you touch an instrument that's in tune, and just melodies start to come out. Maybe it's the composer in me. And so I grew up with my two brothers, and my dad, he would read us the Chronicles of Narnia that C.S. Lewis wrote. Those are fond memories. He would read them to us before bedtime. And one of my favorite books is The Horse and His Boy. And for those of you who are Narnia fans, it happens while the four Pevensey siblings are in Narnia, and it's just kind of a magical adventure that happens, and it's not even about them really so much as it is about a boy. And this boy, he somehow became a slave, practically a slave, a son to a fisherman in this Middle Eastern Arab culture. And I just find it so fascinating. It's really a perfect story for me. I really identified with Shasta, not in the sense that he was a slave boy, not at all. But just I identified with him as a young teenager, with insecurities, and just I identified with him, his desire to become a man and to become strong. And that happens throughout the story. So this concert, this suite, I like to call it a musical suite. And perhaps, have any of you ever listened to Saint-Saëns' Carnival of the Animals? If you haven't, it's a beautiful, beautiful suite. And it's so great because with music, he describes animals. And so that is really a heritage, not heritage, but in the film industry now, we have motifs that perhaps John Williams is most famous for in Star Wars, is when Darth Vader walks on the scene, you know that's him because you hear the music coming, right? And so the music really creates that character, and it's maybe 50% of who that character is the music. And so what I like to do is approach music very motif-wise, themes. And so the piece we just played is The Boy. And it starts out very quiet and timid, and then later you'll find in the concert that it'll be very strong and gung-ho. So, without further ado, let's continue by jumping into the war horse. Hey guys, it's Matthew Spencer. Yesterday, last night, and today, I've been filming a special shoot here at the Sand Dunes, and it's for the Escape from the Desert concert that I am doing. I've composed original music that was inspired by The Horse and His Boy, written by C.S. Lewis, and this concert is going to come up here real quick. I'm so excited to share it with you. I hope you can come to the concert. If you can't, I am planning on producing some of this multimedia event, the music, the highlights of the music, and some of the really amazing video and pictures I've gotten out here in the desert. It's been so much fun. So hey, if you're a musician, you couldn't come to the concert or couldn't participate this time, I would love to work with you in the future. If you're a Longmont area musician, I'd love to work with you. If you're, intermediate, advanced, if you're a teenager or adult, doesn't matter. I'd love to work with you on future projects. I'm hoping to start something called the Matthew Spencer Orchestra, which is an ensemble of musicians and friends that come together to play different kinds of styles, whether it's orchestral, film score, jazz big band, jazz combo, whatever I come up with. That will be a lot of fun. So, hey, follow me on the Matthew Spencer Show on Facebook, and you'll be able to continue to see the music, the interviews, and all these things that I'm producing. So, hey, until next time, my name is Matthew Spencer. Welcome to the wonderful musical world of Matthew Spencer. This next piece is called The Princess. Thank you so much. That's one of my favorites out of this suite, is that theme. It's kind of exotic but yet familiar. And for those of you who are familiar with the character Aravis in the book, she is from a very powerful family. This country of Calormen is really ruled by lords. It's really a feudal system, you know, and kind of a Middle Eastern feudal system. And she decides that she is going to commit suicide because her father's going to marry her off to like a very old man, and she's probably 14, 15, maybe 16. And so she decides that she's going to run away. Actually, she decides she's going to run away after she finds out that her horse is a talking horse, okay? So she's about to commit suicide, her horse says, don't do it. She's like, I didn't know you could talk. And so it's just a very magical story. So that's one of my favorite themes. This next piece is called The Gates of the Great City. And in the story, one of the interesting things is, in order to escape to Narnia, that's where they're trying to go, the land of magic, they decide that the best way to go through is to go through the capital city, which is the riskiest thing you could do. And so the gates of this city are closed, as many of those ancient cities would be, and they would open in the morning for commerce. And so the gates of the city is the next piece. logical sequence. We just played the gates of the city. Now, the streets of the city. That piece is entitled The Gentle Queen. And it's a nice way to just put the pause button on and just be peaceful. I love that. It's almost a lullaby, just that sweet lullaby. And it was actually inspired by Queen Susan, who actually makes an appearance in the book, The Horse and His Boy. And the next piece is going to be called The Desert. Not dessert, but the desert. And I'd like to just tell you a quick story. I went to the sand dunes, as you probably can tell, and it's amazing out there. I encourage you guys, if you've never been there, it's only like 4.5 hours away from Longmont. It's so amazing. I hear that they're the biggest dunes, I believe, in North America. And they're very large. And it was kind of funny because I was so busy, on our selfie culture. I was, talking into the camera, trying to get a good take. And by the time I had, decided that it was a good take, it was dark. And I was like, oh, it's probably not a good idea to do that in the desert. So it was dark, and I was very thankful that there were some lights, where all the cars were parked. But it was a little bit nerve-wracking to think, oh man, I could be lost out here for days. So that was kind of a fun experience. And there was some kids there when I got to across the river, got back, some kids like, hey, how you doing? Little kids, 6-year-olds, and I was like, hey, that was dumb, don't ever do that. Come back before dark. So this is the desert, and I hope that it will convey what a desert might feel like. In the book, it was Shasta, it was the boy, and Bree, his horse, and then Aravis and Wynn, her mare, and they crossed the desert together to go into the land of Archenland and then eventually into Narnia. And it was quite the journey. And when the sun comes up in the desert, you can't hide. There's no shade, and even the shade's going to probably fry you. So this piece is called The Desert. Did that sound like a desert? I really think it did. And I was just thinking while we were performing that, how many of you ever saw the BBC series of Chronicles of Narnia? They did about 3 or 4 of those films. Anybody see those? Those are really cool. And I grew up those as a child. And actually, I don't know how to say this, but I think I kind of channeled some of that, like the themes. I have to go back and hear that sound, but I had some of those chords in there that was like, wow, that makes me think of the BBC Narnia thing. So, this next piece is called The Great Lion, and I would like to just share something with you really quick. I was watching, how many of you have seen the movie Up by Pixar? Yeah, it's a really great movie. It's a little nostalgic, but it's a great adventure movie. And hey, everybody's nostalgic, right? Because everybody's got history in the past. So it's kind of nostalgic. But I just like to share this with you. I was watching Michael Giacchino, who's one of my heroes. He's a composer. And last summer, he had like 3 movies in the theaters at one time. Like, that's crazy. But he said something that really, whoa, I just kind of went in my thinking. And he said that he did the whole film score based off of just one chord. And he said it was an F sharp major chord. And that sounds very nostalgic, right? Got it kind of there. So that I thought, wow, you could actually do a whole symphony or a whole film score or whatever, a whole suite based on just one chord because it gives you a feeling. And so I would say for this suite that I'm working on, and I'm so thankful that you guys get to enjoy tonight with me, is really Aslan's chord. And I would say it's this cluster chord. It's magical. And it has that sense of wonder and expectation. And Aslan is this amazing lion, if you've read the books. And anything can happen around this lion. And one of the things they said about him is he's not a tame lion. You can't tame this lion. You can't tame him. And so that's where the theme kind of came out like that. And I think of C.S. Lewis. He was a Christian, and he really Aslan was a picture of Jesus, and I think in that sense, he's not tame. You have no idea what he's going to do next. So Aslan is that theme is just so magical. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you before we play this theme. And it's got an interesting meter to it, and it's very exciting and rambunctious, and so you'll enjoy this, The Great Lion. I just love that thing. It's just so magical. The one thing that would describe Narnia is magical. And I think, guys, we need some magic in our lives. And so it's just such an honor that friends and family and hopefully future friends would come and listen to stuff I've, lived with for years. And I'm like, man, I don't need to live with this anymore. People need to hear it. I don't write music, so it can just sit in my bedroom or on my iTunes. You know what I'm saying? So this is a little plug for artists. We are created to create. Right? You're created in the image of our creators. So that's what we do. And so if you're an artist, I hope that this is a place where you can come and collaborate with us and do things together. And that creative urge that we want to do. And there's a verse that talks about how we should be thinking on things that are lovely, everything that's pure, lovely, of good report. That's the thing we should meditate on. And that's what I think Christian art should be, is stuff that is excellent, but just stuff that really it's inspirational, it's magical, it lifts our hearts to eternity. It's something that really inspires us, and we want to inspire people here. So I want to thank you so much for coming to join me tonight to listen to some of my music. And I met an artist a while ago. I don't know if he's here or not, but he had some artwork that is far better than anything I've done in terms of realism and maybe even in creativity. It was just amazing. And he's got like a 4-year degree, and I was encouraging him, are you showing your artwork? And he said, no, I'm not ready. I was like, when are you going to be ready? When? When are you going to be ready? Like, you're a master already, show your work, people need to see it. Dwayne, who is our creative director, he would love to chat with you if you're an artist, and of course I would too afterwards. We have a gallery here as well, so you're welcome to hang out and chat with us for a while. Every second Friday night, we'll be opening here, and it's a great time to see and to be seen, and hang out in the arts community. And there's many other galleries throughout downtown Longmont. Perhaps you haven't heard, but Longmont has now a certification, downtown Longmont received a state of Colorado certification as a creative district. And that means it just opens up the sky for the arts here at Longmont. And I'm actually very thrilled what I see in Longmont. I feel like Longmont is really starting to hit a critical mass, particularly downtown. I see downtown as becoming a cultural hub for our city. And so all the creative organizations, there's a real good spirit here. Everyone I've met from the officials, the government officials, to the Chamber of Commerce, all the different galleries, Firehouse, the Arts Longmont Gallery, all the different galleries. There's a really good spirit here in Longmont. And as a team, I see we're just moving forward and just working together. And I'm very excited about that. So I definitely would like to point out the spice market over here, which actually has edibles. They're free. If you want to experience Middle Eastern culture, we have some amazing things.
So the spice market is something that you would generally see in a marketplace. Usually markets in almost anywhere but America are open air markets that you can walk through and really absorb the smells and the sights and the sounds. And so we wanted you to experience a little bit of that. There's a lot of Middle Eastern spices over there, things that are used in like India and all across the Middle East. And there's some things that you can try. They're really sweet, really lovely, dates and raisins and almonds that are there for you to try. And you can also try some of the sesame crunch candies that are Middle Eastern candies. So please go and explore.
job, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. I ran into Jeffrey playing downtown at the farmer's market, and so we started to develop a friendship, and I was just really thankful for a bagpiper. Wow, that's so cool. Something about that. One thing I forgot to mention about the inspiration for this suite is it's really a collision between Middle Eastern themes and kind of that Celtic theme. So Shasta, he was a white, blonde-haired boy, right, living in a darker-skinned world, and he, for some reason, thought it was normal, right? And so that was part of the inspiration, is, hey, we kind of have this Celtic theme going on, Shasta's theme, and it gets bolder and bolder throughout the story, throughout the musical story. And then at a certain point, he meets Aslan, which was that last part, in this amazing fog, and it's like this golden sunshine coming through, Aslan the lion. And then he gets emboldened, and he has to go run to the king and warn him that there's an army coming. So I really encourage you to read the book. It's really, really great. All right. So a couple of things I'd like to just, first off, I'd like to thank and introduce the band, the orchestra, the clarinets, Dave Green and Zachary Matt. Like to say about Dave, I've been playing with him for, was it 4 or 5 years now in the Just for Kicks big band? I don't know, yeah. And it's been such an honor to compose. I've composed for jazz too, and that's how I started it. Man, coming into that band, I heard it when I was in high school. I don't know if you were there at Silver Creek that night, but I was like, you guys are like the best thing ever. Like that was, later I learned that they had some of the statewide like lead trumpet players playing with them that night. But they were really good, man, so good, it was amazing. And so it's so cool how God makes big things small. So I was so nervous the first practice that I came in to sight read. Jeanette actually connected me. Thank you, Jeanette. That was a favor. Yeah. And so I got to play with Just for Kicks, and I've been composing with them, and that's just been a dream of mine to continue to compose. I'd like to just give a shout out to Just for Kicks Big Band. If you would like to buy a CD, they're $15, and you can talk to Dave. It has some great standards on here. Another excuse to play the blues. Mercy, 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 Killer Joe, Fly By, and Congo. Perhaps you haven't heard of those because I wrote them. So I composed. There's three songs in here. That I composed, Fly By, Congo, and Legend of the Thunderbirds. So great songs on here. So if you'd like to buy a copy, they're just right up here, and you can put your money in that box, and that'll be a real help for Just for Kicks. And we don't pay. We do weddings, right, don't we? We do bar mitzvahs, we say we do anything, right? Yeah, we'll play. All right. To continue, bass clarinet is Jeanette Rogers. Thank you, Jeanette. Very close to being one of the founding members of the Loveland Concert Band, which is how many years ago? 1976. So Jeanette's been playing. So many musicians stop after high school or college, and she's been playing her whole life. That is so cool. And then let's go to bassoon is Michael Erickson. Is it true that you played at Allstate? Yeah, he's an all-state musician, so we have and let's go to trumpet, my dad, Mark Spencer. And he is also the senior pastor of Christ Church International and one of the directors of the Intercore Creative. Yes. Let's go to percussion, Israel Sosa. I will say he's debuting his orchestral percussion, maybe not career, I don't know, we'll see. But he's a tuba player, right? So it's really cool, and he did a great job. Let's give him a round of applause. And then my mom and piano teacher, Patty Spencer. And she is the co-pastor of our church as well. All right, and a couple more things I'd just like to say here. We have lots of events happening, and if you guys could pull up the Dino Adventure Days slide, that's the next big thing that we're doing. It's going to be our art opening, and it's going to be our outreach for kids. So it's going to be a second Friday night in July. So we'll have dinosaur art. If you have dinosaur art, you can submit it. So we'll be populating this gallery with dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. We've done some big sculptures. With Dwayne and I have done some big sculptures. They're just so much fun to do. Dinosaurs are cool. How could you not like a dinosaur? And so that is July 8th is the second Friday. And then if you have kids, grandkids, they're going to absolutely love the Adventure Days, which are July 13th, 14th, and 15th. If you'd like more information, you can talk to me. Or actually, Patty, who's on piano, you can talk to her. She has more details. It's going to be a lot of fun for kids. They always love to come for dinosaurs. One kid, actually, he doesn't come to our church, but he came in one time visiting with a friend, and he's like, "This is my dinosaur church." And I was like, "Hey, cool, let's put a dinosaur on the roof. You know, if we're going to be called the dinosaur church, let's roll with it, you know, whatever." But I thought that was so funny. And also, I'd like to just do a short plug for something I've begun. It's called the Matthew Spencer Show. If you guys have a slide there you can pull up. I guess this is the Matthew Spencer Show. So anyway, what it is I like to call it, what it is kind of, what I'm starting is a social media show, and I call it kind of a Jimmy Fallon meets Walt Disney meets Sesame Street, but it happens in Longmont. Okay, can you imagine that? So I will be continuously posting interviews. I did a really great interview with a saxophone friend of mine up in Fort Collins. Got some great footage live of him performing. Amazing performer, Dave, and one of my friends. We work with him a lot, Brandon Behill. And I'll also be out. I had some characters and worlds that I've been creating. I'll be creating different, comedy sketches, and so I'll be doing this sort of production every month. And so you're definitely welcome to join us. I believe it's the 24th, so 2 Friday nights from now, here at 7 o'clock, we'll be doing a Matthew Spencer show, and the idea is to bring new things and show you guys some short films, some comedy, maybe some music, and just what also I like to think about is I'm really pro Longmont, and I think I see some things that I don't know if everybody else sees, that Longmont has such an awesome potential, and so I really want to just be in Longmont, and Longmont is where I think really creative, awesome, cool things can happen. I think people can realize their dreams here. I don't think they should have to go to a different city to realize their dreams. I think young people should be able to do that here. So you're definitely welcome to join us. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today, for believing in our music. I encourage you to hang out for a few minutes. Check out the art. We have some artwork up here, and the Spice Market. Well, thank you so much. My name is Matthew Spencer. Good to see you.